Synchrosfera is a hotel in Denia which has hypoxic rooms. You do a test before to see what sort of altitude you can go up to, and then they set it at that altitude. You go there, and so basically you go into a room, small hall area, and then a small bathroom, and then you go through this door that actually then is like a, I don't know, it's like got a suction on it, so it actually seals the room when you walk into it, and then that is set at whatever altitude. I mean, for my first week it was set at 2,500 meters. So if you go in and out of that door, if you leave that door open, the actual altitude drops in the room, which is crazy. But they've got a monitor on the wall. I was spending on average maybe 19 hours, 20 hours a day in the room of altitude. It was, especially for 3 weeks, it was pretty boring. It felt like a 5-star prison. But again, you know, you're hoping that I get the adaptation from the altitude, as you would do, like when we went to St Moritz, and you know, we were at 1,850 meters. But the big benefit of being at somewhere like Synchrosfera is you can train at sea level. The run workouts, the bike workouts are all done at max effort. So that's the big benefit of being there. It's the old, or the new, I suppose, live high, train low sort of methodology behind it, and it definitely works. I mean, in St Moritz I couldn't get my heart rate above 160. There I was, you know, regularly sort of training at 180, 190 beats a minute. It's a 5-star resort. It's a 5-star health and spa resort, so you can just imagine. The gym was state of the art, had brand new Technogym machinery with video instructions on it, touch screen on every machine, had woodway treadmills. It, you know, had a fantastic area for stretching and anything you wanted to do with that respect. Any strength and conditioning. Had a hypoxic training room, so you can actually put your bike in on a turbo and actually set the room at altitude, so you can train at altitude if you wanted to train at altitude. They had a fantastic cycle room for spinning classes, which was amazing. Had a 25-meter pool that had a retractable roof for swimming in the winter, if you were there in the winter or the autumn or the spring. The full sauna, had everything. Had a 5-star restaurant where the meals were sort of all nutrition based, all healthy, all made from local produce, and that, you know, that was amazing as well. The only downside to the hotel, in my mind, I mean, I didn't have a car because I was there for so long, was the running wasn't great around there. It was quite, other than hill training, because it was on a big hill, but there was the paths on the side of the roads weren't great. There may have been a track or whatever further into the towns, or you know, you could have gone and ran on the seafront, but because I didn't have a vehicle, it was quite difficult to do that. So a lot of the training was done on the treadmill, but the cycling was just phenomenal. I mean, again, it's 20k from Calpe, where a lot of the pro cyclists go to spring and winter train, and a lot of the triathletes go to spring and winter train as well. So, you know, the cycling was just amazing. I mean, some fabulous hills to climb, some fabulous, the roads were great, motorists were great with you, you know, give you a lot of space. Feel threatened. I don't think I had one beep in 3 weeks. Somebody not beeping behind me. In the UK, you go out for 10 minutes and somebody's beeping you. But yeah, it was great. No, other than the temperature, other than it being hot. But again, you know, you're in Spain in August. I mean, it's going to be warm. But I would imagine in the spring, autumn, training there would be phenomenal. You know, just because the temperature would be maybe early 20s, so it would be great to when you're not in the heat of the summer. Yeah, it's weird because obviously it was totally different. It was totally different altitude, because one, you're in a room and it doesn't feel like altitude. Two, you know, when you're at altitude 24 hours a day training in altitude, it did feel different. The only thing that I did feel was when the second and the third week the altitude got put up to 3,000 meters. That all of a sudden then I find it very difficult to get to sleep, and then when I was asleep I felt really like I'd been in a deep sleep, and then I found it really hard to wake up in the morning. which was really unlike me. I'm sort of quite an early morning person, and I'm sort of up at 7 o'clock most mornings, and I've always been like that. And I was struggling to get out of bed at 9, half 9 some mornings, and again I presume that was altitude, maybe lack of oxygen in the air. I'm just now hoping and waiting for the adaptation of the altitude to come into the training, and that normally takes a week to 2 weeks to feel whether that's gonna be there.